Good evening, everybody. Excuse me. This is just Bob Bowman, and I am on my third live stream. Um, Thank you, everybody that has been watching or has been trying to learn something or trying to get new information. Um, I'm just very appreciative of being able to do this. And I realize how hard it is to do this, especially on a daily basis and trying to keep up while you have other responsibilities that you're doing. And it's not easy. So, for the content creators that's actually making money and doing big things, I have a lot more respect for them because I understand how tiring it can be. It's a lot of long hours. Um, it's a lot of work that goes into it, and if you have a busy life and a busy schedule, it's not easy to do this. And I can say that because I didn't really want to get up here. I already had it planned on getting up here, but I've been tired from work and tired from everything else that I've been doing this week, and I kind of wanted to take a break, but I said, you know what? I'm finna get out here and I'm finna do what I need to do to get this message that I'm trying to get out here. And I want to give an honest take on what it is as far as my experiences, my reasons, and why I took the risk of going to the Dominican Republic on vacation. One thing I want to say is that there's a content creator, his name is Ringo, also called Black Male Advice TV, and I was listening to him and he made a very good point. And he's saying that there are a lot of men that selling just getting your passports and going out, but then they have to come back here and deal with the negativity and the environment that we have here in the States, and we should be looking for opportunities to develop businesses and develop ways into getting out of this current system and getting into the system of where we want to relocate to. And I totally agree with him on that viewpoint. However, I understand that not everybody has that ability. Um, some people, you know, they don't have the money, they don't have the time to do it. They have a job. They don't have the time to even think about coming up with ideas of creating businesses in different countries and learning how to collaborate with others in order to do it. They don't have the people, the manpower. All they have is the salary that they have and the vacation that they have, and the men that's in that position, I would just say to them to just keep doing the best that you can. Some people wait until retirement until they finally move permanently out. But if you can't do that, just do the best that you can with what you have. Like myself, I'm still working on myself. I'm still building up what it is that I can do here right now, and that is more important than doing anything else. Is just building yourself up, being the best version of yourself. That's the one thing that I want to put out there in the atmosphere, because before you can go on any trips or any vacations, before you go anywhere outside the US, you got to make sure that you're okay here. You got to make sure your bills are paid here. You got to make sure that you're doing whatever job that you're doing to the best of your ability here. You got to make sure that if you have family members that need your assistance and they're in a tough bind, if you're able to help them, help them. If you're able to help others in the community, help them. Get in the gym, get your mind together, go to therapy, go to counseling before you get out there, because everything isn't what it's cracked up to be. It is a lot of people that's selling this passport uh, ideology is the end all that be all, and I refuse to do that because it's not the solution. It's just one of the many solutions that men can use in order to better their lives personally. And I made a list, and I'm going to go off of this list on the reasons of why I took the risk of going to the Dominican Republic. And before I start on this list, I want to say that I was asked again to go on a panel with a gentleman that blatantly disrespected the passport bros because I am a passport bro. Like I'm planning on going on more vacations, more trips outside of the US. And for somebody to disrespect me and disrespect others that's doing that and they don't understand the full story behind it and not understanding that everybody has a different reason for why they're doing what they're doing, it's no reason to have a conversation with those people. Those people, they want to be disrespectful just off the top. You know what I'm saying? And there's no reason to do that. And I thank the person whoever gave me the one like. I just now see it, but hey, keep going at it. Um so what why did I take the risk of going to the Dominican Republic? Well, first I was I felt disconnected with my community. I felt out of touch. Now, this is kind of hard for me to talk about because some people say, "Oh, you're just complaining, you're whining and all that." But at the end of the day, we all are human beings. We all have emotions. We all think and feel certain ways. And it doesn't matter how anybody else may think or feel as far as us personally. And I have to be honest with how I felt personally at this time. And I did feel disconnected from the community. Like I did do a lot in the community. I did help out a lot. I did try to talk to the youth. I did all the things that they say a so-called real man is supposed to do that cares about his community, and if it was not appreciated at all. Actually, it was kind of looked at as, oh, you only did a little bit. It wasn't that much, and you need to do way more than that. And even though I have different responsibilities, I was helping my family out at the same time, and I didn't feel like anybody understood my point of view or how I felt. It just felt like they just demanded more and more out of me without understanding that, hey, I need a break sometimes. Hey, I need somebody to say, hey, you're doing a good job, and not just saying it, but showing some reciprocation for the energy that I'm giving out. And I was wrong for expecting people to give me the same energy that I gave out. And we should never expect others to treat us the way that we treat them. If we want to treat others in a certain way or a good or a bad way, that's on us. Just how if they if and how they react, that's on them. So I don't expect anybody to do anything for me. I don't expect anybody to help me out. If I help somebody else out, that's just because I want to help that person out. I don't expect that person to reciprocate anything to me anymore. And I realized that that type of thinking was wrong. And I had to have some time to really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like part of this trip was to help me with processing everything that happened to me from year 2020 to today. And I realized that it was a lot of time that I spent doing things for other people, thinking that, hey, if I do all this stuff, eventually somebody is going to give me a hand up. And it never happened. As a matter of fact, I was seen as being entitled, selfish, uh, thinking that life is supposed to be fair. And I had to have a reality check with myself. And I had to say to myself that, hey, life isn't fair. It isn't going to go my way all the time, even when I'm doing what I believe is what's right. Sometimes I'm going to get kicked while I'm doing the best that I can. There's nothing that I can do about it because that's a part of life. Part of life is suffering, part of life is struggling, part of life is putting forth your best effort and still losing. But then I realized that going through those experiences of life not going the way that I would like it to go, it's also helping me with understanding that those losses are lessons. And then once I actually get a victory, I can appreciate those moments of victory that I do get to have. This trip was a small moment of victory because those past 2 years before the trip, it was one of the hardest 2 years of my life, I can say. Like, I can say that health wise, I was in a real bad position. Like, I was having a hard time with walking and things like that. Financially, it was terrible. Socially, I got destroyed. My reputation got destroyed. And it took a long time for me to get over it. And I'm reinventing myself. And I'm realizing a lot of the mistakes that I made that caused that to happen to me. And I'm not, that's why I can't, feel bad for myself and I'm not a victim because it was certain actions that I did that caused me to go through that. And it leads to the second reason, and that was people removing themselves from my life or forcing me to remove them from their lives through their actions and words. Um, there were some family members that I had to get away from. I had to either remove myself or put some distance between me and them because the dramas that was going on in their lives was causing chaos in my life. And it was a lot of taking and very little giving on their parts. And I was going through a time in my life when I needed some assistance. And I, as a man, you can't expect anybody to help you as a man. You're supposed to do it yourself. And then while you're doing it yourself, there's always going to be some people around that's going to be like, hey, you need to do more while you're trying to help yourself. And it got to the point to where I had to cut off a lot of people because I have to build up my energy for myself. That could be physically, financially, mentally. I got to build myself up to the point to where I can give to others and not expect it back. But then there's times when I need to pull away when I feel like I'm giving out too much. That's part of being a man, is being able to manage not only your money, your time, your energy, your attention. It's all important because if you don't manage it well, people are going to take advantage of it. They're going to use you up. And then once you're used up and you're low on all that energy and all that time and money and attention, they're going to disregard you as though you're nothing. I've been through it more than once, but this back in 2020, it was like one of the worst times that I had to go through that. So I needed to also see the possibilities that I could have in the future. That was another reason why I took the risk. Um, like I said, I felt disconnected from the community, and it was my fault partially, and I had to take responsibility for that. I couldn't blame anybody for that. I had a failed marriage, and I understand where I went wrong in it. I understand that I didn't hold up my end of the bargain the way that I was supposed to. And at the same time, two wrongs don't make a right. So that means if one person isn't holding up their end of the bargain, that doesn't give me the right to not hold up the end of mine. I should have just left if it was that serious, but I didn't. And I did some dirt and I had to pay the consequences for that. And I realized that's the reason why, excuse me, that's the reason why I was attracting the type of people that I was attracting. Either I was attracting women that I wasn't interested in, or I was attracting women that were beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, they were terrible. And I got treated terrible by them. So it was a learning experience for me, and and it was one of the things that I had to learn, that I had to, focus more on making myself better, a making myself a better judge of character, making my character better than what it was, because that's the reason why I was placed in the category that I was at, is because I wasn't doing what it is that I was supposed to do. And now that I'm older and I realize my mistakes, there's certain things that I'm still struggling with. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if I want to get out here and do some more dirt and do some stuff that I know that I shouldn't do, I have the ability to do that. But then I also know that it'll be consequences with that. So right now I'm taking a moment to be content with where I'm at, stay in the house more. I'm keeping myself active with projects and going to the gym and learning how to better myself, better my thinking patterns, how to better, work on my mentality, my spirituality, all at home. I don't need to go outside too much to do that. If I need to go outside, go outside for a walk or something like that, or walk to the gym, go to the grocery store, but I don't need to force myself to be around people that probably don't want to be around me. Like, I need to be comfortable with being alone sometimes, and that's what I've been working on more often than not. Um, and I was discouraged on getting out of the funk that I was in. I was discouraged. I didn't think that anybody would take me serious in order to be a better person, that I was working on being a better person. Like, I didn't think that I was being taken serious, and I didn't know if I was actually becoming a better person. So I wanted to go outside of my environment, go somewhere else to see how it is that people will react to me in a different environment. Like, if I am carrying myself different, if I am being a better person. And when I got there, I saw that I have been making some improvements. And I understand that sometimes when a person's reputation is destroyed in a certain spot, certain area, um, it can be damn near impossible to overcome that. But as a man, I've learned, I've grown, and I'm working on overcoming all that, reinventing myself. Part of me doing this is part of me reinventing myself and helping other men that's out there that's in the same boat to reinvent themselves. Um, I needed to take accountability for my past and why I was attracting the wrong women. This is a hard one. um, like, I've been with some really gorgeous women before in my life, but like I said, just because they look good on the outside doesn't mean that they good on the inside. And there has been times when I've been just super thirsty to try to be with somebody, and it'll backfire on me. And I think maybe I could help this person change they negative ways or they negative personalities. And I keep working at it and keep working at it until I had to figure out that I can't help someone who don't want to be helped. And that's vice versa. If I don't want to be helped at a certain thing, can't nobody help me at it. Like, they have to figure it out for themselves, just like I have to figure it out for myself. And looks can only get a person so far. The women that look good, they look good. I felt good about myself, but at the same time, they were draining me, and I had to understand that allowing them to do that to me was hurting me, and it was showing me disrespect to myself. Like, I was showing myself disrespect by allowing somebody to do that to me. Being the stepdaddy that got walked all over. And I played the stepdaddy role several times, and I had to realize that it's not a bad thing to be a stepfather. However, if the women don't appreciate you and they like, oh, my kids come first, and you're taking care of her, helping her take care of the kids while you're helping her, and she's just looking at you like you're a footstool for her and her children, like no man deserved that. None. And I would advise anybody that's going through that, being treated like that, to leave. Get away from that woman. I don't care what anybody has to say. Don't let these churches, these pastors, anybody, your friends, don't let them shame you into standing in the situation that's destroying you. Because honestly, a situation like that will destroy you. If you allow a woman to run all over you and allow her children to run all over you, you can't do nothing to say anything. Don't let yourself do that. Also, if the woman is being disrespectful to you, she's embarrassing you out in public, there's no reason for you to stay with her. You might as well be by yourself. And that's one thing that I learned, is that I didn't have to take all that. I should just learn how to be by myself. If people want to spread rumors about me, talk trash about me, saying, oh, you can't get any, you know what, and all that, just let them say whatever it is that they're going to say. Only thing that I have control over is myself and my actions, my personal actions. And I'm not saying that that's easy, because we all are human. We all have emotions and everything like that. So I would rather be by myself and deal with the negative backlash for being by myself than to be in a relationship with somebody who I either don't find attractive or is treating me like crap. And that goes into the next one. I had to stop lying to myself and learn how to stop being a coward. I lied to myself a lot, especially in the situation that I was telling you about, being with an attractive woman and she treated me like trash. And I lie to myself and be like, oh, I could fix this. Oh, it's not as bad as what I think it is. But at the same time, my energy is being depleted. I'm finding myself getting more upset. Part of me is getting so upset that I'm thinking about doing things that I probably shouldn't be thinking about doing to her. So if a woman gets you off your square that much, you need to leave her alone, regardless of how you feel about her. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth the headache. And I had to stop being a coward. Like, there's times when I wouldn't want to deal with a woman that I didn't find attractive, and I would look for different reasons to why I couldn't be with her, instead of just being straight up and saying, hey, you're a cool person. I just don't see you in that way. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, and just keep it moving. And whatever actions they have after that, whether it's negative or positive, I just have to live with it. But I'm learning that being honest is a lot better than trying to lie and swivel my way out of a situation, because if I'm going to get bashed for it, I might as well get bashed for telling the truth than lying. And I learned that the hard way in 2020, when I was going through all that physical stuff. And it was a woman that liked me, that had several children. She she wasn't my type. I just say that. But she let it be known that she liked me. She put it out there. And instead of me just being honest with her and telling her that, hey, I wasn't interested, like, I lied and I was like, well, I'm in a relationship with somebody. But I didn't know that there were people behind the scenes that knew what was going on with me. And they pretty much made my life even more miserable than what it was at that point. And I understand that some of them was looking at it like, oh, you're single, and you know you ain't having no success with the women, and this woman need help with her children, and yada yada yada, and disapprove your manhood, and why you worried about looks. And I mean, that's their opinion, but at the same time, I have to do what's best for me. And that's one thing that I learned from that experience, that I should have just told her straight up how I felt. Try to do it in a way where it wasn't bashing her or being negative towards her or making her feel bad. I mean, because I lied to her, and I'm just being honest that I lied to her, and that made her feel even worse about herself than what I thought it would. And so I had to learn how to stop being a coward. And I also had to accept that I was being disrespected and it was my fault. I got disrespected by a lot of people. And I never set healthy boundaries between me and them. And sometimes setting a healthy boundary is just not being in their face, not talking to them, just leaving them alone. And there are some people in my past that I should have just got away from them as soon as I saw that it was getting disrespectful between us. And sometimes I wanted to be accepted and to be a part of a group so much that I allowed myself to be disrespected. And I learned that it's not worth it, because yeah, you might be a part of this group or you might be around these people, but if they don't respect you, you still low on the totem pole. You still seen as a small person. And why would anybody want to be treated like that? Why would anybody want to be treated like they small? Like, we all human beings, we all have emotions and feelings, and we all want to be validated to a certain extent. And so to allow yourself to be treated as nothing just to be a part of something, it, it makes no sense, because at the end of the day, you're still going to be at the same spot that you were at in the beginning. And I had to confront the reason of why I was mad and why I was having a hard time getting along, even when making an effort. And part of that was that I was trying too hard to fit in. I wanted to be something that was beyond my grasp at that moment, instead of accepting who I am at this point, doing the best that I can at this point, and moving forward in my life, instead of thinking that, oh, if I just do this, they'll love me. If I just do that, like I was pretty much like lowering myself just to be accepted by others. I was, and this is probably something that I learned when I was growing up, dealing with certain family members. And I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but I know that there were times when I would do things to try to please others, being a people pleaser. And that got me in a world of hurt right there, trying to please everybody while they really didn't care about what it was that I did. Because one thing that I learned is that you could do a million things for other people, but if they don't like you, they don't like you. It doesn't matter what you do. You can get them your money, you can take them places, you can help them out, you can do all types of stuff for them, but if they don't like you, they don't like you. And that goes with friendships, that goes with relationships. And then I had to realize that there were times in my life when I was on the other end, when it was people who I didn't really like, who would try to make themselves available to me, try to be around me. And I was just like, no, I don't like you like that. And it was nothing that they did wrong, but it's just that if a person don't like you like that, they just don't like you like that. And it's okay, because we all are human beings. We all are different. We all have our own personalities, and not everybody is going to get along. And then I had to also confront the reasons why I was mad. And the reasons why I was mad was because I wasn't accepting what was in front of my face. And what was in front of my face is that I was trying to please people that didn't like me. I know it sounds stupid now that I'm talking about it and I can laugh about it, but it was a very hard lesson for me to learn. And I know that some people are like, oh, you should have been learned this. Like, you're 40 years old and you learned this at 38. But it's like, if you've grown up, all your life trying to please certain people, trying to please certain family members, trying to please people in your neighborhood, trying to please your friends, trying to please the church, and you don't know any other way, it's hard to break those bad habits until life makes you break those bad habits. And that's what I went through. I had to break those bad habits of trying to please people. And then I also had allowed others' opinions to tear me down to the point where I thought I wouldn't be able to get and keep an attractive woman. Now, like I said before, I've been with attractive women before, but I had, at this point that I'm talking about, I had allowed others to tear me down to the point where I thought I wouldn't be able to get or keep an attractive woman when I have a history of having attractive women, which is stupid. It's stupid. I know it's stupid. But if you allow others to tear you down like that, it can happen. They can just constantly just knock on you, knock on you, knock on you, knock on you. And then it's like you find yourself like, man, maybe they right. Maybe this isn't, you know, this isn't supposed to be for me. Maybe this isn't going to happen for me. And part of me going on the trip to the Dominican Republic was I wanted to see if how these people were treating me and how they felt about me, if that's how it actually was for me everywhere I went. And it wasn't. Like, it was totally different. Like, I understand how some had felt about me and had made it to the point to where, you know, we know how it is here. Like, women like the right of first refusal. And if you refuse a woman that a group of people think that you should get with, and they want to, conspire, they will conspire. They will talk bad about you. They will try to drag you down. It happens. And it didn't just happen to me. It happens to a lot of people. And it happens to people where that, you know, that's, like a kiss up. That's a people pleaser. Somebody that's kissing up. Somebody that isn't being 100% truthful. Somebody that's being a coward. Like, you deserve to go through hardships like that. And as a man, I've learned that I needed to go through that in order to become the man that I needed to be. I needed to go through that hardship. I needed to overcome the things that I overcame in the past 2 years in order to understand that it's a certain way that I have to carry myself. And everybody is different. Some people, they never have to carry themselves the way that I have to carry myself, and they'll be forgiven. But everybody is different. Some people have the charisma in order to overcome bad decisions. Some people don't. Some people have to work really hard to just find it within themselves to overcome that bad decision, which is what I'm doing. This is part of me reinventing myself. This is part of me showing my growth to myself, that I'm able to express and communicate what it is that I went through, what I learned from it, and to move forward. I don't plan on talking about going to the Dominican Republic all the time when I do these live streams. I know that that's been a theme for the past 3 that I've done, but I plan on doing different topics eventually, and then expounding what it is that I think. And I know that there's going to be a lot of disagreements with it, but at the same time, I don't care, because this is more about me than it is anybody else out there. Um, and I needed to find the motivation to keep moving forward more than my nephew. That's another reason why I went to the Dominican Republic. Um, like I've said before in my previous live stream, that right now my legacy is my nephew. Like, I plan on giving him everything that I have once I pass on, move forward in life. And that's one of the things that keep me going. But I needed something else to kind of help with motivating me. And the trip was to help motivate me to say, hey, maybe I could do this in the future, like move to this island and live around these people, and start all over in that way. Like, I know plenty of other people now that have done that. I knew a few people back when I was in the Navy that's done it, but I did never thought that I would plan on doing it. But life has gotten me to the point to where I'm seeing that as a possibility, how I can move forward in life, how I can live the best life that I can live for myself. And I needed to break away from feeling guilty for doing what I want to make me happy. Uh, like I said before, I didn't want to go on this trip. I still had the Queen Goddess beta chip inside my head, as Dennis Sperling say, where I was feeling bad for doing something good for myself, and I was like, why am I going on this trip? I feel bad. You know, I need to be building here and building in the community and finding somebody that I like here that who likes me and yada yada, But it's like I put a lot of unnecessary pressure on myself. And if things ain't working out here, like what's wrong with exploring the possibilities, expanding my possibilities? Uh, I know that a lot of people probably don't like that. They like, oh, you need to just stay here and, you know, do what it is that you can do here. But if I'm not happy with that, if I'm not happy with what's being presented for me here, then as a human being that have freedom of choice, I need to exercise my freedom of choice. And I mentioned 10 reasons on why I took the risk on going to the Dominican Republic alone. And those are the reasons why I did it. It wasn't to mess with a whole bunch of women. It wasn't to, like have a brief moment of escapism. It wasn't to prove everybody wrong about me. It wasn't to prove that I was a man or anything like that. I needed to build up myself. I needed to build up my self esteem. I needed to have a chance to relax and to understand why I do certain things that I do in my life. Um, and I know that it's a lot of people that want to talk down on the passport bros and they don't want to understand every aspect of why we do what we do. But at the same time, it's not for everybody to understand. I'm happy to be a passport bro, and some passport bros might not understand or agree with my perspectives on how I see things. And I'm not trying to blame women here for making my life miserable. I have to look at myself and be honest with myself and say, what did I do to cause them to treat me this way? What am I doing? What am I not doing, you know, to have them treat me this way? And if I'm improving myself, if I'm bettering myself and I'm still getting the same result, then I know that it ain't me. And that's what I wanted to figure out and find out for myself. And now I can honestly say that I've been doing the work. I'm going to continue doing the work. And I can say that it's not me. It ain't me because I'm doing the work. Once I stop doing the work, that's when I can't say that it's not me that's the issue. But if I keep on doing the work and I keep on pushing forward and I keep on striving to become a better version of myself, can't nobody say that, oh, it's you that's messing up. If I keep my distance from those who always want to talk negative about me and make me feel worse than what I already feel, can't nobody say that it's me that's the issue. If I pray to the Most High, who I believe in, if I do the best that I can to follow the commandments and statutes, if I do my best at work, if I do my best on maintaining and maintaining and managing my finances, if I do my best on keeping myself as healthy as possible, if I do my best at communicating and helping others out within my family and those outside of my family whenever I can, if I do my best to treat my fellow human beings with respect, then can't nobody say that it's me that's the problem. Like, I understand that I'm not where most people think that a 40-year-old man with no children should be at. Some wanted to call me a dusty or whatever, but that's their opinion. Like, they don't know what I've been through in my life in order to get to the point to where I'm at. And I had to fight very hard to get to this point. Like, I've had a whole bunch of apartments that I lived in. I'm working on having my own house to myself. I had made sacrifices in order to make that happen. And that's all I can do is to continue doing the best that I can do, striving to be the best version of just Bob Bowman that I can be. Um, I don't know what my next topic is going to be about, but I'm kind of getting tired of talking about the Dominican Republic because I've been on this for the past week, actually the past 2 weeks. So I want to, really, really want to delve deep into like different problems that's going on in the community and why is it going on and my perspective on it. Hopefully, one day I can bring somebody else on here with me and we all can talk about it. I want to bring one of my friends, International J, on here uh, and have a discussion with him, about everything and have him help me out with doing this live stream or whatever. But you know, this is this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of me doing this, and I'm very appreciative of having this opportunity to put myself out there. Um, I'm hoping that I represent my family good. I'm hoping I represent the people that call me their friends good with this. I'm hoping that I represent the people that know me and think of me as a person of good character. I hope that I'm representing them good with what it is that I'm putting out here. I'm a totally different person than what I was 2 years ago. And I'm hoping that the trajectory that I've seen over the past 2 years into the next 5 years, that I become an even better person with the way that I think and the way that I maneuver and the way that I see things. But I've been rambling on for the past 43 minutes. I thank everybody that's come on to this live stream. Hopefully, you leave a comment, leave some suggestions for me. Um, Other than that, thank you. Have a nice evening. I want to say to the content creators that's out here, that's actually doing these every single day, I salute you. This is a lot of work because I'm working, I'm doing other projects, I'm tired, but I still got up here to do it. And I understand how hard it is to do this. But thank you very much. Have a nice evening.